Hey you guys, what's happening? I thought I would just take a day to throw up a quick pre-recorded episode of some of the craziness you can pull off with this new fully unlocked fairy pile. This might be the next one I tech up because I actually enjoy it quite a bit. Now this particular match doesn't go so well for me if I remember correctly. We're up against zombies here, so it's kind of an uphill battle right from the get-go. But I think that this, and this also was a time in the build where I pretty much just put in everything that flashed because I wanted to see if I could make it kind of a more, in-step heavy deck, just surprises and stuff like that. But obviously we have a little bit of problem or a little bit of trouble getting some mana going here. And that's the first thing that kind of goes wrong in this particular build in this particular episode. But it's really a great illustration of what this deck is capable of because I don't get to make maybe the plays that I would want to. Obviously we're on second main and I am pitching guys, which is not great. Looking back, I could have just played Spell Stutter, but I really don't want to do that. If he has like a 1-drop or something, I want to at least be able to counter it. Spell Stutter is only able to counter 1-drops at this point because it would come into play, and it would be the 1X on there, but I just want to, I feel like a counter is going to be more important than just playing it, so I didn't really have anything to do. And he's going to go ahead and drop this guy. I get to unsummon this, so I'm not too upset, but I am thinking about the fact that I'm going to rip a card here, and if it's not a land, I have to get rid of the unsummon as well. Luckily, that doesn't happen, so now we just have to wait, and hopefully he'll play something. I'm still not sure that discarding the Pestermite was a great play, or even a competent play, but at this point it was really early on in me playing through this deck and I thought that my counters were pretty important. I love seeing the Grave Pact here because it's going to allow me to unsummon this thing, and evidently I was quite excited to do so, and stop him from being able to really do anything with the turn. Grave Pact is not super impressive in this matchup against me, given the fact that, well, I mean, it is pretty good because a lot of my dudes are supposed to just kind of get at you and poke you, but I do have Reigns of Power in my hand, so I'm not too worried about the Grave Pact. That actually will help me set up Reigns of Power if I need it to. So at this point, it's kind of a weird moment where I have a bunch of flash creatures in my hand. I could obviously play the one guy, but I want to have the extra mana. This creature right here, next to Scion. I don't know if I'm going to zoom in on it. And yeah, Glenn, something, Archmage. I want Archmage. I want to be able to have that mana open so that I can drop that guy and have the counter available in case he tries to kill spell it. It does have Persist, which means that it would come back, but... And then here's me testing out this in-step type of stuff. He could have had a kill spell there, but I don't think he does. Right now, I mean, Hands of Binding is a great play. I can counter stuff that's 2 mana. Pestermite's also pretty applicable in this situation because it's going to tap down this 4/3. So there's actually a lot of stuff that I can do, a lot of defensive plays that I can make here. I'm going to go ahead and just damage this guy for 1 and take him to 19. And then say go. But obviously we're going to have to play Pestermite now because I can't have him guy down just yet. I'm still thinking about the Reigns of Power. It's not a card that I'm super familiar with playing at this point in my life. It's not something that I do too much, but obviously getting this kind of buff out on that side of the field is going to be really helpful. So he's sitting at 9 damage right now. That'll take him to 10. Unfortunately, I have guys that would be able to defend. Then he plays this Flesh Bag, which obviously is going to have me sack a guy. It's going to kill both my dudes, so I'm thinking of what I want to do here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this Pestermite, because right now, let me make sure that I was right about this. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that wouldn't have killed him. So I want to stop from taking the damage, right? Or wait, he would have hit me with the guy and got the... Yeah, I don't know, because he would have hit me and got the zombie, and I think, is it a 2/2 zombie token? Because that's the math I'm doing right now. I'm almost 100% positive. I get another Reigns of Power, which is just kind of useless for me. I could bash him twice, but That's almost not even applicable in this situation. But yeah, I mean, because the 6/4 over there would have created a zombie token, but even with that zombie token out, he would not have died from the Reigns of Power. So, but basically at this point, it's just sitting around waiting for him to get 19 damage on the board so I can Reigns of Power and win. Which is kind of the ridiculous thing about this deck. This deck didn't even get to do most of its tricks. Macias is going to do it for me, actually. Because now I'm sitting here, and if he hits me with this guy, that's going to... Because right now we're at 18 damage, which is obviously not enough. And that's why I'm highlighting the Reigns of Power, because once I take the damage from this, and I just freeze it up to make sure that I'm thinking about this right, I believe. Make sure that I'm coming up with the damage, and I think I did the math like 4 times because I wanted to be sure that I could do this. But that's one of the things that's kind of ridiculous about this blue fairy deck, is that you can do this kind of bullshit where you don't even really have to have crazy hands. You don't have to have the stall. You don't have to have a lot of powerful cards. As long as you get that Reigns of Power in your grip, which is one of the things that led me down a path of trying to get some draw engines in this, because I almost feel like if I want Reigns of Power every single time I play this deck. We're going to see it in action here in just a second. It's going to go ahead and tidy up this this match. The other thing that's amazing is that he can't even Doomblade to reduce the power of my side at this point, because if you know it was any other kind of spell or any other color creature, he could Doomblade it and maybe survive here, but obviously that's not the situation in this match. So there you go, you guys. That's Blue Fairies. I really enjoy it. It might be a little too powerful with those 2 Reigns of Power and some of the ridiculousness that it does, but I like playing it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you all next time.